Welcome back, everyone. This is your stimulus check and stimulus package update and news report for today, Monday, January 18th. By the time you're watching this, it might already be January 19th or Inauguration Eve. America is at a watershed moment, a critical turning point for our nation. There is just one full day left, a little bit over 24 hours in the Trump administration, and then Biden will be taking the oath of office. So in this update, I would like to discuss first and foremost your $1,400/$2,000 stimulus check, as well as the new issues arising with the prepaid debit cards and stimulus checks going out in the mail. We had hundreds, if not thousands, of people comment on yesterday's video telling me, look, Logan, I've still not received my stimulus check. What the hell is going on? And I'd also like to discuss unemployment, a couple states and their updates for unemployment, as well as Biden's plans for potentially canceling student loans. Yesterday's video actually ended up being one of my most viewed videos of all time. We got several hundred new subscribers hop on board. Now, the reason why that's so important is because when we hit that big 10K number, which now we're within striking distance, literally arm's reach, maybe even a little dinosaur arm's reach of 10,000 subscribers, we're going to be doing something very special. I have to give back to the fans, got to give back to the community, especially during these trying times. I'm going to be doing a cash giveaway, so do stay tuned for the rules and how to enter. I'm going to be announcing it all, as well as announcing the winners of the cash giveaway, so do stay tuned. If you have been enjoying my videos and you want to support the channel further, go ahead and smash the like button. I would greatly appreciate that. Turn the like button blue. And one of the rules is going to be that you have to be subscribed, and you don't want to miss how to enter the cash giveaway, so be sure they are subscribed. Hit that big red button, also hit the notification bell as well. That will notify you every single solitary time I do post a brand new video. So yes, I will be doing a cash giveaway. Do look out for that. But of course, we do have to talk about the fact that people are missing out on their stimulus checks. You can't get my stimulus check without getting a stimulus check from the government. So what's going on with these prepaid debit cards and people by accidentally throwing them out? Yes, as if waiting for Congress to pass the bill and then finally waiting to receive the $600 stimulus check wasn't frustrating enough. Some people are actually throwing away their stimulus payments. This guy, Jim Wallace, a resident from Ohio, he almost tossed a letter he received in the mail the other day. He had said, quote, I received a white envelope with clear plastic on the top left corner, and in the middle, nowhere was a U.S. Treasury or IRS return address in Washington, D.C. that would have indicated that this was a stimulus payment. He went on to say, there was this address here with a little seal, and it didn't look like U.S. government mail. It looked like junk mail. He was more confused when he went in to open it. He said there was a card inside, and then there was a note with the card that said economic impact payment, which then Wallace assumed meant his stimulus, but nowhere did it even say $600, so he still was not sure, even though it literally said economic impact payment, which is the other term, the more official term for stimulus check. He said, quote, it did not look like an official IRS letter. It did not. We almost tossed it aside. We almost threw it away. The IRS has now acknowledged that some people are tossing the cards in the trash or cutting them up, assuming that they are attempting to get them to sign up for something. And so the IRS is now issuing an alert to watch out for the cards in the mail, as it is your real stimulus check, not just in the form of a check. Once again, this is the envelope for the prepaid debit card or the economic impact payment card. And no, it does not say IRS. It does not just say $600 glaring you in the face. But be sure that you pay attention to these things and don't toss away any mail. Look at every single piece of mail that you receive to make sure that you do not throw away your stimulus check. But what if you are so ever careful and you comb through all of your mail and you make sure that you do not throw away any single piece of mail without verifying that it is not a stimulus check, whether it be a paper check or a debit card, and you've been waiting for weeks and weeks on end and you've still not received your stimulus check? What is your next course of action? What is your recourse? An IRS error did delay payments for millions of people, so it is possible that you have still not received your stimulus check yet, which was evident in all the thousands of comments that we received yesterday of people telling me that they still did not receive their checks yet. So yes, many people, and it could be by the millions, will have to file their missing stimulus money from either the first round or the second round of stimulus this year on their tax returns and do what's called a recovery rebate credit, where you'll actually have to claim your stimulus check funding on your tax return. Others will have to contact the IRS and request something called a payment trace, and then you can go ahead and actually track those funds. So do reach out to the IRS if you believe that you're still entitled to stimulus checks and that you should have received your checks by now. So how do you know if you have to request a payment trace? Which group of people are these people? Well, you'll have to do that if the Get My Payment portal tool that the IRS has shows that your payment was issued, but you haven't received it within these time frames specifically. So the first one is 5 days since the deposit date in Get My Payment and your bank says that they haven't received it. 4 weeks since it was mailed by check to a standard address. 6 weeks since it was mailed and you have a forwarding address on file with the local post office. Or 9 weeks since it was mailed and you have a foreign address. So that is the specific criteria for people that will have to request that payment trace. How do you request this payment trace? Well, there's a couple different ways to do so. You can call the IRS at 800-919-9835. That's 800-919-9835. Or mail or fax a completed Form 3911 taxpayer statement regarding refund. Find out where to mail or fax that form for your state on the IRS website. And to complete the Form 3911 or 3911, the IRS provides the following instructions. You have to 1. Write EIP on the top of the form. EIP, of course, stands for Economic Impact Payment. Complete the form answering all refund questions as they relate to your payment. When completing item 7 under section 1, check the box for individual as the type of return. Enter 2020 as the tax period. Do not write anything for the date filed. Then you have to sign the form. If you file married, filing joint, both spouses must sign the form. You should not mail Form 3911 if you've already requested a trace by phone, and you should not request a payment trace to determine if you are eligible to get a check or to confirm the amount you should have received. So that's in regards to the $600 stimulus check if you have still not received it. In regards to unemployment, we have a couple updates on a couple certain states here in the United States. Number 1, if you live in New Jersey, we have new details surrounding the unemployment benefits, the supplemental $300 benefit if you do live in the state of New Jersey. So the Department of Labor has said that it has successfully processed payments over the weekend and would arrive to claimants' bank accounts or prepaid debit cards as soon as Tuesday, depending on the bank. According to a spokeswoman, we processed the first 2 weeks of $300 supplemental payments, so eligible claimants will receive up to $600 this week for their first 2 weeks of eligibility. Payments will continue automatically through March 13th, and claimants won't need to take any further action. And then if you live in the state of Pennsylvania, finally this week, thousands of Pennsylvanians have started to receive their $300 supplemental unemployment benefit. According to the Department of Labor and Industry of the state, about 127,000 claimants in the unemployment compensation and extended benefits programs were eligible for the $300 boost starting on January 12th. This comes from the extension of the FPUC program. The extension was part of the federal COVID-19 relief package passed last month, of course, and the additional benefits will be added automatically. State officials say that they are still waiting for guidance from the federal government on the Pandemic Emergency Unemployment Compensation and Pandemic Unemployment Assistance programs, which were extended through the federal government's stimulus package. PUA and PEUC claimants are currently unable to file for weeks after December 26, and before payments can resume, state officials have said that they need information from the U.S. Department of Labor in order to make required changes. When payments do resume, the state plans to backdate eligible PUA and PEUC claims to the week of January 2nd and add on that $300 supplement for those weeks. More and more states will continue to update us on the status of the $300 benefit. Some states were able to implement this supplement very quickly, while others are naturally having great delays. So what about the $1,400/$2,000 stimulus checks? Are they a done deal? With Biden taking office in a little bit over 24 hours, can we truly expect a $1,400 stimulus check? Well, according to Wall Street and political analysts, these checks are actually very likely. In fact, there is growing support among Republican lawmakers for additional stimulus directed towards the low and middle income households, with the latest effort to pass $2,000 stimulus checks winning some bipartisan support. So I would definitely count on a $1,400 stimulus check under the new Biden administration. In fact, according to Height Securities, there's an 85% chance that a scaled-down package will be passed in the first 3 months of 2021. Because of the ongoing support for additional direct aid to households, checks are likely to be included in that smaller package. Quote, we believe there is support for a smaller package that includes the $1,400 checks, more healthcare funding, support for small businesses, and some state and local aid, according to this analyst. As far as the timing, we have heard mixed reports. We have heard that money can start flowing to Americans' accounts as early as mid to late February. where some analysts are expecting this package to pass perhaps February to March, and then payments would then start to be sent out from there. Once Congress does turn the Biden proposal into legislation, then they come to terms and negotiate on it, then Biden signs it off. That all happens by the end of March, towards the end of March. Then we could expect money flowing early April, but again, you're still going to have those delays. Not everyone's going to receive their checks on day one. And Biden has repeatedly affirmed his stance on these checks. He has said that Americans are desperate. He has said that Americans should not have to choose between putting food on the table and paying rent. And almost every single solitary Democrat in the Congress agrees that we need more direct relief. In addition, President-elect Biden has vowed to take action on student debt and loan forgiveness on his campaign throughout the campaign trail, especially after being pressed from his more left-wing companions and the more progressive end of the Democratic Party. So what could we expect from a Biden administration? What kind of action could we anticipate on student loan forgiveness? So with Democrats taking control of the House and the Senate, experts do anticipate that Biden and the Biden administration can take bold action on the nearly $1.7 trillion in student debt held by nearly 43 million Americans. Experts are predicting that the Biden admin will push for raising tuition funding, amend bankruptcy laws, and offer a low level of student loan cancellation through legislation that does get passed in Congress. Biden has promised to double the maximum value of the federal Pell Grant, which is the largest source of grants for low and middle income families to afford a college education. So we can anticipate that coming out of the White House. We can also expect that there will be a move to revisit the dischargeability of student loan debt through bankruptcy. Jerry Nadler and Senator Elizabeth Warren recently introduced the Consumer Bankruptcy Reform Act of 2020, which proposes that they could make the process easier for student debtors by amending the bankruptcy code and creating a new chapter for personal bankruptcy. Now, if such a bill were to pass, both private and federal student loans would be able to be discharged through bankruptcy, just like your very own personal credit card debt. In addition, while Biden has said that he won't do it through executive action, we could expect some shape or form of student debt cancellation. This would be through a legislative process, and it would be a bill where we can foresee $5,000 or up to $10,000 of student debt federally canceled. So certainly a boatload of action to hypothesize about with the new White House being in charge. I'm curious, if any, what legislation are you most excited to see come out of the new Biden White House? Let me know down below in the comments. I'm curious to hear. More updates, developments, and of course that cash giveaway is to come when we do hit the big 10K. If you want to be part of the action, you want to be part of the community, first and foremost, you do have to smash that like button, give the video a big thumbs up. Also be sure that you are subscribed so we could expedite the process to 10K and get that cash flowing. So do become a subscriber, hit that big red button, also hit the notification bell as well. I do look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.